It's a beautiful Sunday in Arizona, and you won't find a nicer day than the one we have here today at Chase Field. A gorgeous sunny day in downtown Phoenix. Another great crowd expected. Nice and comfortable, nice and cool. The roof and panels open as the Diamondbacks look for the series win. Arizona Diamondbacks Sunday Baseball is presented by Sanderson Ford. And good afternoon from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume and Bob Brenly along the way. The Diamondbacks here today with a chance to take 2 of 3 in this series from the Philadelphia Phillies. And we've seen some outstanding starting pitching as of late. Mike Bolsinger, Josh Colmentor, Bob yesterday, Bronson Arroyo. The D-backs starting pitching is trending in the right direction.
Well, I'll tell you, partner, truth be told, it couldn't get much worse. But over the last 3, Mike Bolsinger, followed by Josh Colmentor, Bronson Arroyo, did what starting pitchers are supposed to do. Give your team a chance to win the ball game. We've talked a lot about the inability to sync things up. It all has to start on the mound with that starting pitcher. Hopefully Brandon McCarthy will be able to follow suit today.
Brandon McCarthy looking to continue that trend today for the Diamondbacks. It's another matchup of veteran starting pitchers. Here is McCarthy coming in from the bullpen with his catcher Miguel Montero. He's matched up with the Phillies' A.J. Burnett. When we come back, getting ready for first pitch, hoping to keep the bats going here. Aaron Hill, Cody Ross, A.J. Pollock all heating up. The Diamondbacks with a chance to win this series from the Phillies. First pitch on the way here on Fox Sports Arizona. The Diamondbacks and the Philadelphia Phillies The rubber game of the 3-game set. Brandon McCarthy going for Arizona and A.J. Burnett for Philadelphia. Diamondbacks are on the field in their Sunday Sedona red. Right now we turn it over to the voice of Chase Field, Mr. Chuck Drago.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and please remove your hats. Please direct your attention to the field as we honor the United States of America and pay tribute to our veterans, active duty, and retired men and women of our armed services. Presenting our nation's colors today is the American Legion Department Color Guard from Post 29 in Glendale, joined by members from Post 27 and Post 62, under the leadership of Steve Jones. Team members are veterans that served during the Korean, Vietnam, and Desert Storm Wars. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Philadelphia Phillies invite you to join in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, performed by the Church at Litchfield Park Choirs under the direction of Dr. Susan Kujawski.
Sunshine, temperatures are absolutely perfect. Roof and panels open. Crowd on hand to watch the series finale here. Brandon McCarthy looking for his first victory of the season.
Ben Revere set to lead it off for the Phillies.
This how Ryan Sandberg will line them up today. Ben Revere in center field leading off. Jimmy Rollins playing shortstop, batting second. Chase Utley playing second base, batting third. Ryan Howard over at first base, cleaning up. Marlon Byrd out in right field. Dominic Brown 4 for 9 in this series, scored a couple of runs. He'll be out in left. Will Nieves, the former Diamondback, behind the plate today, giving Carlos Ruiz a day off. Cody Ashley once again at third base, and right-hander A.J. Burnett on the mound for the Phillies.
Ryan Howard and company down 5-0 yesterday, came back and got the 6-5 win, and now after the Diamondbacks won the series opener here, we're in the rubber game of the 3-game set. And Brandon McCarthy on the mound. He is our Arizona Ford starting pitcher. His 6th start of the season, a loss in each of his last 4 starts, despite the fact that his ERA has dropped with each outing.
Yeah, for Brandon, he really just needs to avoid that big inning. You heard him talking about it earlier. He'll be cruising along in a ball game, retire 8, 9, 10 in a row, seemingly on top of things, and then suddenly a defensive miscue behind him. Botched double play ball and a 3-run homer, and before you know it, he's looking at a deficit. Hopefully avoid that big inning today.
Well, he had an outstanding national anthem. Unfortunately, it's taking a little long to get everyone off the field. So let's take the opportunity now to look at our defense behind Brandon McCarthy for the Diamondbacks here this afternoon.
Cody Ross getting it going with the bat. He'll be out in left field again today. A.J. Pollock in center. Gerardo Parra in right. It'll be Prado and Owings on the left side of the infield. Hill and Goldschmidt on the right side. Miguel Montero continues to swing the hot bat, seeing the ball really well right now. He'll be behind the plate for right-hander Brandon McCarthy.
And remember, Brandon had an outstanding outing in his only previous career start against the Phillies. That was May 12th of last season for the Diamondbacks. And he worked 8 scoreless innings, gave up just 7 hits, had 5 strikeouts, but a no decision in what turned out to be a 4-2 loss in 10 innings. And now we have the field just about cleared, and Ben Revere is stepping in. Bob Davidson, the crew chief and plate umpire, getting us ready here for first pitch at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. Roof and panels open, bright blue skies above. It's the Phillies and the Diamondbacks in the rubber game of the 3-game set. So here's Ben Revere at .303 on the season. A very hot hitter as of late. And we are set for Sunday baseball, brought to you by Sanderson Ford. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Ben Revere, a pair of singles last night to help the Phillies come back from 5-0 down. He also stole a base and drove in a run. He's got 4 hits in the series. Brandon McCarthy's previous outing on that cold, windy night at Wrigley Field last Tuesday. Conditions quite different here this afternoon. There's a strike, 2-1. You might recall that game against the Cubs was a tight one until Mike Olt hit that line drive home run to right under the wind, part of a 4-run Cubs 5th. The 7th home run allowed by Brandon this year, which leads the league. Ben Revere slaps that the other way, hooks it into left for a leadoff single. So he is now 13 for his last 30. And good speed on the bases with 8 steals this year.
8 out of 9 on the season, and you know the Phillies want to get their offense jump started as early as possible as Jimmy Rollins makes his way to the plate. 3 things you need to know about Jimmy Rollins. He holds the record for most at-bats in a single season. How about that? 716. Least favorite pitcher to face, Steve Traxel, just because the bats took forever with Traxel on the mound. And he's been in some MC Hammer videos back in the 80s.
Well, he can barely touch that one. It's fouled off 0-1. 72 degrees. Wow, this is fantastic weather here in downtown Phoenix. What a day to be at Chase Field. Glad you're with us on Fox Sports Arizona. Rollins at .270 and 3 homers. Great day to be out by the pool.
Oh, yeah.
The RamTrucks.com pool area. Lots of sunshine out there.
Yeah.
Jimmy Rollins 1 for 5 last night. He's got 3 hits in the series, all singles. Revere takes off with a pitch. Rollins fouls it off right to Chase Utley in the on-deck circle. And he's down 0-2.
Yeah, Utley following the lead of Todd Helton. former Colorado Rocky, now retired, who used to try to cheat up as close to home plate as he could, try to get a little bit of an angle to see the Brandon McCarthy deliveries, maybe get some timing in that on deck circle before he even gets up to the plate. Look where he's standing.
Trying to get a peek. Revere holding at first. That one is inside, 1-2. This is what Chase Utley is looking at, or trying to anyway.
He's trying to get over there far enough where possibly he could see Brandon McCarthy's release point. Maybe pick up something in his delivery before he gets into that batter's box.
Popped him up, third base side. Miggy will give it a look, but it's drifting into the seats. Jimmy Rollins bearing down on some important Phillies records. He came into the season needing only 60 hits to pass Mike Schmidt as the Phillies' career hits leader. Earlier this year, he started his 14th straight opening day for the Phillies. That matched Cal Ripken's big league record of consecutive seasons starting at shortstop for the same franchise. Of course, Larry Bowa, currently the Phillies bench coach under Ryan Sandberg, started 12 straight openers at short for the Phillies.
Well, barring some kind of an injury, Jimmy Rollins is going to end up in the one position in a lot of those offensive categories before all is said and done. Just an outstanding player all the way around.
35 years old, his 15th major league season. A ball and 2 strikes. There goes Revere from first. The throw from Montero is not in time. 9th stolen base of the year for Ben Revere. And opposing teams continue to run wild on the Diamondbacks.
Good jump by Revere. Pretty good pitch to handle for Miggy away from the left-handed hitting Rollins. You're pretty sure he's going to take that pitch. Occasionally on that kind of a pitch that's so far out of the strike zone, you can almost play it like a pitch out. You just assume the guy's not going to swing at it because it's so far out of the zone. So really come firing out of the chute. That time Miggy a little tentative.
On the ground to first, but it's out of play. Bob, when teams are stealing bases on you, it seems every chance they get, and you're having trouble throwing opposing runners out. What can you do to help? How do you slow that down?
Well, and I'm sure that's something that really sticks in the craw of Kirk Gibson. That's something he takes great pride in the past, slowing down the opposing running game, having the pitchers hold the ball for an extra second, quick pitch on the next one, hold the ball again, trying to disrupt their rhythm. But for whatever reason, base stealers rather, really getting good reads this year. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
You could hear Miggy from up here. That one hurt.
Please don't hit me in the toe. Please don't hit me in the toe.
Left foot right on it. Ooh.
Man. And his shin guards have those little extenders that reach down. Oh, man, that's on the toe. Ay, ay, ay. Extender didn't quite reach down there far enough.
And you can see Bob Davidson, the crew chief and the plate umpire. Stuffy Goza wishes backup looks on, giving Miggy all the time he needs to get back in business, and Rollins will step back in with a 2-2 count and Revere on second.
I mean, getting back to that running game, when you look back to last season, Brandon McCarthy allowed only 2 stolen bases when he was on the mound all season. Already this year, runners are perfect 6 for 6. And some of that could be a byproduct of the struggles of the starting rotation. Guys are so concerned with trying to throw strikes, trying to make quality pitches, get opposing hitters out, that maybe not paying quite as much attention to the base runners.
Are base stealers more often stealing bases? And I know it varies case to case, but more often against the pitcher or the catcher?
More often against the pitcher. If a guy's time to the plate is 1-3 or above, the premier base stealers are going to steal the bag no matter what the catcher does.
McCarthy gets the strikeout. One away. What are you feeling for your keys to the game?
Well, our Valley Honda keys to the game today. Got to bounce back. We talked about it after winning 3 games in a row. losing a tough one last night. They're really going to test the character of the team here today. And Eek, spelled with 3 E's, 3 more errors in the ball game last night. That's something the D-backs have to tighten up. Best defensive ball club in Major League Baseball last year, really kicking it around this year. And that doesn't even include some of the misplays that should have been a double play, end up as a fielder's choice where you only get 1 out. The inning continues and bad things have happened.
Chase Utley lifts that one into left center field, and it drops in between Cody Ross and A.J. Pollock. They will wave Ben Revere. There is no throw, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia.
Seemed to be in the air for an awfully long time for neither D-back outfielder to be able to get there. Looked like AJ might have been shaded over to the gap in right center a little bit. Cody Ross perhaps playing deep in left, but Ben Revere with a late send by Pete McCannon down at third base. And when Chris Owings got the ball back from the outfield, I don't think he knew that Revere was trying to score. Somebody's got to let him know.
So 3 batters in, it's 1-0 Phillies, and here's Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard, 244 and 5 homers. Mentioned most of those homers going to left field. He's become a little bit more of an opposite field hitter at the age of 34, certainly in terms of his power distribution. He was hitless last night, has one base hit in the series. That was the 8th inning single on Friday, and sure enough, he lifts that the other way to left. Cody Ross in the shadow, and that's the 2nd out. Likely not as dramatic or drastic a need for that shift against Howard as we've seen the D-backs play in this series. He is spreading the ball a little more evenly these days. And a good example there of him showing some willingness just to take the ball the other way and slap it into left.
And people sometimes say, well, why do you need advanced scouts anymore? We have all this information. We have spray charts. We have counts. We have this and that and the other thing. But an advanced scout who has seen a player more recently can say things like that. You know, Ryan Howard is not a dead pull hitter anymore. He's getting beat with fastballs. He's hitting some balls to the opposite field. So instead of playing the exaggerated shift, the advanced scout might suggest you play a little more straight up based on what that scout has seen recently.
Pat Burrell in the house for the Phillies. Marlon Byrd with a strike on him. Now quickly it's 0-2. Marlon Byrd at 269 and 2 homers. He's hit in 3 straight games. Byrd was on base twice last night with a single and a walk. He scored a run. He was 2 for 4 in Friday's opener. McCarthy ahead 0-2. Utley on first, 2 down.
Perfect location, threw that pitch where he wanted it, where Miggy wanted it. Got the swing he was looking for, but that ball just rattled in and out of the glove of Miguel Montero.
So it's at least a 20-pitch first for Brandon McCarthy with a run in. Bird chases that one. Montero will complete the strikeout, and the Phillies strand one, but they get one. Chase Utley's RBI single has given the Phillies a 1-0 lead as A.J. Burnett gets set to take the mound here at Chase Field. Starting pitcher for Philadelphia is the veteran A.J. Burnett. And for a scouting report, here's Aaron Hill.
AJ's got a great sinker. Obviously, his curveball's been his put out pitch for most of his career, and both him and Lee are obviously great veteran pitchers that have been around and know how to get guys out. So we just got to continue with this momentum and pick our pitches in the right time and hopefully score some runs.
A.J. Burnett, 26 wins over the previous 2 seasons in Pittsburgh and helping to finally get the Pirates into the postseason. But Pittsburgh decided to let Burnett walk away this winter, so the Phillies have brought him in here at the age of 37. 6 career starts against the Diamondbacks, 3-3, and ERA near 5.
Yeah, you heard Aaron Hill talking about that heavy sinking fastball in his last outing. He just didn't have a good feel for it against the Dodgers. We're told he went to a lot more breaking pitches in that game. Throws a spiked kind of a knuckle curve, and he also throws a slurvier breaking ball. One of only 4 pitchers, if you go back to the 05 season, 4 pitchers to win at least 10 games every year, along with Mark Burley, Dan Herron, and CC Sabathia.
Gerardo Parra leads it off for the D-backs. Parra at 250 and a home run. And if you're going to hit leadoff most of the time, that on-base percentage has to at least start with a 3, not a 2. The 1-0. A.J. Burnett, despite the fact he is winless on the year, has pitched very well for the most part this year. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 4 of his 5 starts. He's given up only 1 homer all season long. There's a strike, 2-1. And Burnett used to be a big strikeout guy, led the league, in fact, 231 Ks back in 08. That was his final year with the Toronto Blue Jays. But more recently, he's become less reliant on the strikeout. Bit more of a pitch-to-contact guy at the age of 37. A lot more ground balls with that 2-seamer that Aaron Hill was talking about.
It's funny how that works. The older you get in this game, it seems like the smarter you get. Why do I want to throw 3 pitches to get a guy out if I can throw 1 and get a ground ball at one of my infielders? Become much more efficient, or at least you try to become much more efficient later in your career. Save those pitches.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 away. Here is the lineup for the Diamondbacks from their manager Kirk Gibson as they try and take 2 of 3 in the series.
We've seen Gerardo Parra at the top. He'll be followed by Martin Prado and Paul Goldschmidt. It'll begin Miguel Montero, Aaron Hill, and Cody Ross in the middle today for the D-backs. A.J. Pollock over his last 10 games swinging a hot bat. He'll be out in center field, followed by Chris Owings and the pitcher Brandon McCarthy.
Martin Prado now. There's the strike, 0-1. Prado at 243, still without a home run on the year. 1 for 5 last night with that 9th inning single, and of course was ruled out at the controversial play at second base. That was reviewed and overturned with the expanded replay rules. Good challenge by Ryan Sandberg. Might have changed that inning. Diamondbacks would have had the leadoff man at second and no outs. The 1-1. Hard to right center. Revere. He can go get him out there. 2 down. Defensively for the Phillies. Behind A.J. Burnett.
It'll be Dominic Brown in left field once again today. Ben Revere covers a lot of territory out there in center. Marlon Byrd in right field. Cody Ashley at third base. Jimmy Rollins, the 4-time Gold Glove winner at shortstop. Chase Utley and Ryan Howard will make up the right side of the infield. Will Nieves doing the catching today for right-hander A.J. Burnett.
Some Phillies fans in the house. The lefty Carlton jersey. Old school. Hey, not a bad seat. Here's Goldie. I love Sundays, Bob. Sundays at Chase Field.
I know you do.
The Cold Stone delivery to the booth. Living right. Burnett jumps ahead of Goldschmidt. 0-2. Goldie, an RBI, a walk, and a run scored last night, but an 0 for 3 at the plate. That snapped a 7-game hit streak. And it was just the 4th game all season long in which Paul Goldschmidt did not have at least one base hit. Goldie, for the months of April last year, hit .287. And this April, he's at .318 coming into today. So he's about 30 points of average ahead of where he was at this time last year. But he's behind on Burnett, 0-2. All right, it's 0-2. What are the chances it gets to 3-2? At least 50-50.
At least 50-50, yeah.
An amazing ability to work counts, drive up pitch counts. Not this time, however. Burnett gets 2 strikeouts in the inning. We are through 1. The Diamondbacks trail the Phillies 1-0. May 18th against the Dodgers. First 10,000 moms get D-backs branded slippers. So make your Mother's Day celebration last all month by bringing her to Chase Field. More info at dbacks.com/value. Those look comfortable.
Yeah. Wonder what the biggest size is for moms.
What are you saying?
I think they go up to 13. Double XL.
Bob Brenly, ladies and gentlemen. Did you have a? I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Well, you know. I mean, obviously the slippers are for the moms, but,
right? Yeah. Oh, you'd like them?
I'd like a pair.
Oh, I see
they
where
look
you're
pretty
going.
nice.
So you walk around in your slippers and your bathrobe like Hef?
No, not quite.
Walking around the house with a
Not
pipe?
Quite.
Kind of a Mad Men thing?
I don't have a bathrobe.
Well, you can't walk around in just the slippers. Dominic Brown grounds out. Maybe that's the next step, bathrobe night.
Yeah.
Now batting.
And as a public service, we will announce every couple days that Mother's Day is sneaking up quickly. And don't forget Mom.
You didn't drop the ball last year, did you?
No. But it's tough for ball players. I mean, Mother's Day on a Sunday, and that's generally a travel day for most teams unless you happen to be in the middle of a homestand. But, you know, a lot of times Mother's Day, you wave goodbye in the parking lot and see him a week later.
Here's the former D-back, Will Nieves, getting the start behind the plate for the Phillies today. Will has started 4 games for Philadelphia this year, keeping in mind their starter Carlos Ruiz is a key bat in their lineup, but he is 35 years old and needs a day here and there. And today, day game after the night game, and the whole thing. Now, this is a new year for you in terms of Mother's Day because you now have to include your daughter. Oh, yeah. You got to send Lacey something. Grandpa.
Gladly.
Called strike, 1-2. Little pool hustling up there.
Yeah, 10 ball. Corner pocket.
Working on that technique. McCarthy has the strikeouts. That's 3 strikeouts now for Brandon. 2 up and 2 down in the second.
See where Miggy wants it? About where Brandon McCarthy threw it up there above the belt. Should have a pretty good book on Will Nieves after playing alongside him last year.
Will 71 games with the D-backs last year. Did a great job backing up Miguel Montero. Here's the third baseman, Cody Ashe. And Ashe, you'll remember, had that big pinch hit 2-run double in the 8th inning last night against Trevor Cahill. He's back at third, getting the start. We saw Freddie Galvis over there last night. Ashe started on Friday, had a single and a bases loaded walk for an RBI. And McCarthy is quickly out in front, 0-2. Called strike 3. That's 4 strikeouts for Brandon McCarthy. He retires the side in the second. He has set down 5 in a row. D-backs trailing 1-0.
Interactive kiosks right here at Chase Field during any Arizona Diamondbacks regular season home game. Today's contestant, Casey, not only took home a Martin Prado game piece, but she's a finalist for that 2014 Ford C-Max given away at the end of the season by Sanderson Ford. Congratulations to Casey.
We've had a lot of finalists so far this year. A lot of competition for that beautiful Ford C-Max from our friends at Sanderson Ford. As Miguel Montero steps in to lead off the second against A.J. Burnett. Montero, Hill, Ross, 4, 5, and 6. A.J. Burnett worked a 1-2-3 first with a couple of strikeouts. He got Parra and Goldschmidt. And now he works to Montero here in the second. Miggy 268, 2 homers. On base twice last night, a single and a base on balls. He scored a run. The 0-1.
You know, I don't like to talk to guys too much about their swings because, you know, you don't want them to think about it. You want it just to be a natural thing. But it's clear Miggy's made some adjustments in his approach at the plate. You may remember last year he kind of rocked back from one foot to the other to get his weight back onto that left foot. He's simplified things this year, just kind of starts with the weight on the back foot and strides into the baseball. That's been kind of the theme under Turner Ward this year. Simplify your approach at the plate, and Miggy has done that. Eliminated a lot of the wasted movement he had before the ball was thrown.
Hands seem a little quieter to you?
Yeah, a little quieter, a little lower. Very close to the slot you want them to be in when you start your swing.
We always hear batters talk about the load. What is the load?
That's the process you go through where you start out kind of balanced in the batter's box, and at some point you want to get your weight back to the backside, get your hands back into a hitting position, get your weight back onto that back leg so you're ready to stride into the baseball. Now, for some guys, that load can be very complicated, like it was for Miggy last year. He would lift his back foot, step back onto his back foot, and then step back out onto his front foot. Just had a lot of movement with his body before the ball was delivered. This year, as you can clearly see, has simplified things. His load is almost preloaded, if you will. Already has his weight on that back foot.
Does that make you then quicker to the ball?
It certainly looks like it this year for Miggy. He's been able to wait on pitches. He's walked more than he struck out this season, which is a tremendous sign. Seeing the ball much better and shorten up that swing. Just look to make solid contact. If the ball's supposed to leave the ballpark, it will.
He's had a strikeout rate last year of 23%. This year it's down below 9. That is a dramatic difference. 3-2 pitch. Lifted in the air. Shallow left. Dominic Brown coming in. One away. Service dogs for autism.
One of the many things the Diamondbacks do here at Chase Field to raise awareness for various causes and issues.
Aaron Hill. Aaron at 255 and 2 homers. And another 2-hit night for Aaron last night. A single, a double. He also walked and scored a run. That after the big night on Friday when he homered and drove in 3. And we talked about this yesterday. You can get Aaron Hill's bat going in this lineup. Try and help make up for the loss of Mark Trumbo for 6 weeks with that broken bone in his foot. Some of these other bats really heating up as of late. You include Cody Ross in that company. Cody's on deck. A.J. Pollock swinging the bat well. Aaron Hill heating up in this series. Diamondbacks scoring some runs. Two and two. A.J. That line drive power, his bat has looked terrific since coming back from that sore neck. Kept him out of most of the series at Wrigley Field. So Burnett, who had 2 strikeouts in the first, went 3-2 to Miguel Montero, and he's done the same here to Aaron Hill. As we know, this is a guy who will occasionally lose command and walk the ballpark. Launches out Aaron Hill. 3 strikeouts for Burnett. 2 down.
I mentioned in his last start against the Dodgers, Burnett just kind of lost the feel for his fastball. Couldn't throw it for strikes. Had to throw a lot more breaking balls. Mixed in a few more changeups, but he seems to have that sinker right where he wants it today. Kept all 3 of the strikes to Aaron Hill on that outside corner.
2 down for Cody Ross. Cody, a pair of singles, 3 RBIs last night. And he says he is really seeing the ball well at the plate right now. Feels like a 3 RBI type of game he had yesterday, something he can now do on a regular basis, coming off that hip injury. And he says coming off the hip is range in the outfield between the hip and a knee surgery he had about 10 years ago, and the fact he's 33. The range might be a little limited right now, but he sees the ball very well defensively coming off the bat out there, and says that helps him make some adjustments defensively to get to the balls on time. We saw him make a nice sliding grab in that left field corner in this series. 0-2. 4 strikeouts through 2 for A.J. Burnett. And the Diamondbacks trail the Phillies 1-0. Great job here today. Let's give a nice round of applause. Ridge High School is Jack Taylor, who just bought a J.J. Putz jersey earlier today. Nice going.
Yeah, he's got it signed. Very nice.
How are you guys today?
Doing well.
We're good.
Hanging in there?
Hey, I'll ask the questions here, kid.
All right, fine.
I'm just kidding, buddy. I saw you on the PA with the Chuck Drago. How'd that go?
That was actually really fun. I thought of it a lot differently. I thought it'd be more nerve-wracking, but it really was pretty cool.
Well, they make you feel at home over there, and we will do the same in here as you're with us for the top of the third. A.J. Burnett leading off against Brandon McCarthy. So what are your observations so far? Diamondbacks down 1-0.
We got to catch up. That's all I can really say right now. We really just need to get our game going. We got a big losing streak. We need to get our heads screwed on straight, and it's kind of killed the rest of the season.
Kind of an inspirational speaker, baby.
Yeah.
I try.
Now, I see in your bio, we get a little bio on all our Sanderson Ford Kidcasters.
Oh, do you really?
Well, I can't show it to you.
Okay.
I'm not allowed. But under the Jack Taylor bio, it says you love baseball, which is great. But when there's the called strikeout, so that's 5 for McCarthy. You said, when I come to Chase Field, I get this weird feeling through my body. Now, what is the feeling when you're here at this beautiful ballpark on a perfect day?
You know, it really is undescribable. It's just that feeling you get. It's almost like a second home. You know, it's just like I feel like I'm meant to be here all the time. and there's anything better.
Now, do mom and dad go for that? You let you come out as often as you want?
No, I mean, if I want, I would be a season ticket holder, but, not all dreams come true.
Well, I don't know, maybe, instead of a driver's license or something.
Ooh, that's a tough call. I need to drive.
Well, you can catch the shuttle and take the girls out to the ballpark.
There you go.
They'll be lining up for you.
Hey, you want to go take the bus and go to the Diamondback game?
Smooth. Now, it says you really want to try, speaking of parenting decisions, it says you really want to try a D-bat dog.
Now, I tried that today.
You did?
That was amazing.
Did you eat the whole thing?
No, I shared it with my family.
Oh, this is it. We have video of
geez.
this.
Here we go.
Nice work.
Oh, here I am pigging out.
So how was it?
A lot better than I expected.
Right.
I will tell you that. It was huge.
Brandon McCarthy trailing Ben Revere 2-1 in the count here, but he's retired 6 in a row. He's got 5 strikeouts. And Jack, you've watched Brandon McCarthy pitch this year. He gets on these rolls where he can set down 9, 10, 11 in a row at times. Just got to avoid that big inning, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, really all we can do is hope for the best, expect the worst. We really got to get our game on. We got to get some guys out.
Are you writing this down, BB? We should.
I know, no kidding. Save the tape.
Like a 10 commandments or something.
So Desert Ridge, what are you guys? I mean,
Jaguars.
The Jaguars. Okay.
Jaguars.
Do they carry their games on radio or TV?
I don't believe so, but I think we're doing pretty good. I know the junior high was really, really good last year, and we're hoping for a state championship.
Desert Ridge, the Jaguars.
I think you need to talk to your principal about covering the games. And,
now, this is the Jack Taylor file. We'll let you see some of this here. It says you want to be an agent, a sports agent.
Yeah, I mean, that would be an ideal career, but I'm also really good at sales. So marketing I see that in my future as well. So,
salesman, I like that. These agents make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's a big part of wanting the agent job.
There's a strike to Jimmy Rollins. Well, I see Los Angeles was on your bio. You could go out to L.A. and do one of those, open up an agency.
That would be ideal.
Walk around talking into your cell phone all the time, making deals.
Yeah, well, broadcasting as well. I think I could see that in my future. I'm not too bad at it. I'm not too bad at it.
Now, we're sending you over to radio after this. Or did you already do radio?
I haven't done radio yet. I'm doing
next?
Radio next, yeah. So that should be fun.
Jeff Munn and Tom Candiotti.
Yep.
Now, here's a tip. If Candiotti talks, just ignore him.
That's what we do.
That's what I got to do. That's what I got to do.
Yeah, just keep talking. Now, which do you think is more challenging, radio or TV?
I'd imagine radio, because you can't really present yourself as you can on TV. You can more or less show. You got to really talk about it.
You got to fill in all the blank spaces.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of
they
talking.
can't see. You got to be their eyes.
Well, you seem like a talker, so I think you should be okay.
I don't think it'll be much of a challenge.
Oh,
okay.
I'm a little bit cocky.
I'm glad the governor isn't here to see this. 3-2.
And a strike.
Did you get to a lot of Suns games this year?
I went to a few. I have friends that are season ticket holders, so they
nice.
tossed me a few tickets, and I
they
never
got
said no.
The hookup? Yeah, they were fun to watch.
Yeah. Heartbreak season. And a walk.
So McCarthy, who had set down 7 in a row, issues a 2-out walk to Jimmy Rollins.
Second baseman.
What do you think about TV play-by-play? Want to do this one?
I could do it, yeah. I could probably do this a little bit longer than I want to, but I got to move on.
Well, you got Rollins on first, and 2 outs, and Chase Utley's up. So here from Desert Ridge High School is the Jack Taylor. Jack, it's all yours.
Alrighty. Chase Utley with a 360 average this season. Let's hope to narrow that down a little bit. Have been too successful last few games. And a ball. Oh, my bad. Correction, strike.
0-1. What do you make of the Phillies? They're kind of an old team. Utley's 35. Marlon Byrd is up there. Ryan Howard, 34.
Yeah, they really they need to get some young players on their squad. I'd say we're kind of one of the younger teams.
Miggy's having a...
One more strike. We got an 0-2 count.
Miggy's getting beaten up back there.
He took one off the foot earlier in the ball game. That one kind of rattled around the heel of the glove. All part of the job when you put on that gear.
I think you would know best.
Absolutely.
Always defer to the color man. That's a good start.
Pop fly. Foul ball.
Have you ever caught a foul ball in a game?
I believe I have once, and I had it in my room, and I remember I had it framed and everything. It's my first ball ever from a baseball game, and then there were many, many more to come.
Remember who hit it?
I want to say it was Luis Gonzalez right after we had traded him to the Dodgers in 2006, 2007.
Well, Gonzo's always walking around here somewhere. You might bump into him back here.
Yeah, that would be cool. I haven't seen him in a while. I remember a few years back he gave me a private tour of the Chase Field, so that was really cool.
Man, okay.
I've got some connections.
I didn't know you were
town.
such a big shot here.
I wouldn't say I'm a big shot, but connections count, and you need to keep up with them.
Oh, see, he's already started that sales career, people. Sales and marketing.
Oh, and Rollins is stealing.
They got him picked off, and the Phillies run into the final out of the third at second base. Well, great job from Desert Ridge High School, our Sanderson Ford Kidcaster. It's Jack Tandler, ladies and gentlemen. Jack,
Appreciate
thanks, buddy.
it. Thank you.
Good to see you, Jack.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Link, your link to what's next. And by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box and try the new Jack's Blazin' Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. Great day to be out on the water in downtown Phoenix. Here at Chase Field, the Diamondbacks trail the Phillies 1-0. Brandon McCarthy in, talking to Ken Crenshaw, the trainer. Taking a look maybe at a fingernail. Blister.
We hope that's nothing serious. Brandon McCarthy throwing the ball well today.
A.J. Pollock leads off the third. Brandon's been pitching a pretty good ball game. Just 2 singles in the first. He's got 5 strikeouts. He retired 7 in a row at one point before the walk to Rollins. And Rollins got himself thrown out on the bases. And A.J. Pollock, you just cannot get A.J. out right now. First hit for the Diamondbacks to lead off the third. He is, I tell you what, he's a streaky guy, but when he's hot, he is hot.
He's done a real nice job lately, including the ball game last night, of going up the middle opposite way. Got a pitch from Cliff Lee last night, up and out over the plate, and lined it down into the right field corner. That ball, outer third of the plate, stayed right on it, lined it into right center. Nice, quick, abbreviated swing.
He's got 6 hits in 10 at-bats in the series so far. Now here's Chris Owings. Chris Owings on base twice last night, had a single and a walk. He scored a run.
This is one of those Chamber of Commerce days here for the city of Phoenix. Just absolutely perfect conditions. Great day to be out at the ballpark.
Really comfortable here, too. Just a little bit of a breeze. Very little heat and humidity in the air, of course. Very cozy. Owings shoots that one down the line and into left. A.J. Pollock will stop at second. First two have reached for the D-backs against Burnett here in the third. A.J. thought about third base for just a moment, but Dom Brown did a good job of getting over there and cutting it off.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Dominic Brown was intentionally trying to decoy A.J. Pollock into believing that ball got behind him. Dominic Brown is not the greatest defender out there in left field. A lot of people in the Phillies organization feel that's what kind of slowed his progress. They always felt he could hit at the big league level, but he didn't even realize he had it in the webbing of his glove. But A.J. has to stop at second base anyway. Expect a bunt here from Brandon McCarthy.
You can see Dom Brown in the top left corner of your screen. That's the only shadow that's on the field as of right now. Of course, that'll be an ongoing issue as the game evolves here this afternoon. And standing out in sunshine now, coming in against the pitcher McCarthy.
Sun figures to be the bigger problem for the guys on the right side of the field right now. Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every D-backs win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
A.J. Pollock at second, Chris Owings at first. One or one. Long look down to Glenn Sherlock at third.
Ryan Sandberg, the Phillies skipper, being a former second baseman, pays a lot of attention to the infield defense. Guys all over the place. They had a fake pickoff to start the sequence here to McCarthy in an obvious bunt situation. Jimmy Rollins out there at shortstop decoying like he's going to break to third base, trying to influence McCarthy into swinging away at the plate. Ryan Howard charging from first. Chase Utley coming over to cover the bag at first. A lot of movement on that Phillies infield, and they change it up on every pitch.
Now a ball and 2 strikes on McCarthy. Let's see if he's still bunting up here. Squares up and gets it down. Nieves has a play at third for the force on Pollock. McCarthy safe at first. Owings moves up. Didn't get it quite far enough out in front of the plate. Nieves, the former Diamondback, pounced on it for the force on the lead runner.
Pretty aggressive play by Will Nieves behind the plate. That ball was deadened out in front, but he gets out of the chute quickly. Puts A.J. Pollock easily at third base. Kind of an unnecessary throw by Cody Ashe to try to fire across the diamond to get Brandon McCarthy. But a nice play by Nieves to get the lead runner.
So now it's first and second with 1 out. Owings at second, McCarthy aboard at first. And here's the top of the order, Gerardo Parra, who struck out his first time. Parra 0 for 3 with a walk last night. That snapped a 4-game hit streak. There's a strike, 1-1. A.J. Burnett's last start was Tuesday in Los Angeles. Got a no decision at Dodger Stadium. Gave up 2 runs on 6 hits and 6 2/3. He was outstanding in a start before that. Just 3 hits and 7 scoreless against the Braves at Citizens Bank Park. Got a no decision there as well. Turned out to be a 1-0 Phillies win. He's ahead 1-2.
This would be a great time for Gerardo Parra to break out of what's been a season-long slump with runners in scoring position. Only 2 for 23 coming into play today. That's an .087 average with runners in scoring position.
On the ground, a second. Utley, Rollins, Howard, they roll it. Diamondbacks have first and second, nobody out, and they cannot scratch or run across. We are through 3. They trail the Phillies 1-0.
I'd like to thank all fans in attendance today for their support.
Contributing members of this team, and how successful we are depend on how hard we work and how hard we keep pushing. But at least if we're getting back to where we should be, then this team is better off for it.
Brandon McCarthy has pitched well, gave up 2 singles in that first inning for a run, but other than that has struck out 5. He retired 7 in a row at one point. And he's keeping his team in the game. They had a good chance there. First and second, no outs, but Brandon couldn't get the bunt down, Bob. But that really hurt him in that last half inning.
Yeah, no question about it. You get that bunt down, takes a double play out of the equation. But it's kind of the way it's been going for the D-backs. Hopefully Brandon can put some more zeros up there and give his offense another chance.
Manager Ryan Sandberg in the Phillies dugout. Chase Utley steps in to lead off the 4th. He had the RBI single. There's a strike, 0-1. Utley this spring was asked about some of the differences now in the Phillies under Ryan Sandberg than under Charlie Manuel, the previous manager. And Utley said that Sandberg has added a few more rules than Charlie had. I don't think Charlie had too many rules.
No.
But he wants to make sure the players are all on the same page about expectations. And it's a little unusual for a player of Utley's status and achievement to have a manager who is almost exactly like him as a player. But that's the dynamic here with Utley and Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah, look at the numbers across the board.
Of course, Sandberg, one of the best in the business at second base for so long with the Cubs. And he says his preparation now as a player, or when he was a player, a carbon copy of the way Utley approaches things. And Sandberg says Utley's preparation, his process, does rub off on some of the other Phillies players. And it is interesting when you look at the difference in the Phillies under Manuel versus Sandberg. And look what the Phillies have done in this series. I mean, they almost came back on Friday night and won that ball game. They were down 5-0 last night. Again, they came back, didn't give up. This is a veteran team. They got a new manager here who's a little more of a hardline guy than Manuel. How about Chris Owings? And that's some COD. And hey, you guys at Fox Sports 1, that might be the one tonight.
That ball was struck well. Looked like it was ticketed for left field, but Chris Owings with a good first step. He only had a chance to take a couple of steps before making that diving catch. Nicely done.
Chris Owings continues to hit, continues to play outstanding defense. As a Diamondback rookie at shortstop. Here's Ryan Howard, who flied out his first time. That's foul past Juan Samuel at first. Of course, Chase Utley compared to Ryan Sandberg. How about Bob Utley and Jimmy Rollins? Kind of a modern version of Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell.
Yep.
Utley and Rollins have started more than 1,000 games together as a double play combination, the Major League's active leaders. That one is in there. It's in the gap in right center field. Ryan Howard doesn't move too well these days, but he's easily in at second with his third double this year.
Third double of the season for big Ryan Howard. He's now 9 for 52 lifetime in this ballpark. Very unusual. Usually hitters love coming to Chase Field. They get fat here because the hitting background is so good. The ball carries so well. But Ryan Howard here at Chase Field, going back to the 2010 season, only one homer in this ballpark.
So Howard at second, one away. Here's Marlon Byrd, who struck out his first time. Brandon this year certainly has demonstrated a consistent zip, a little more giddy up, a little more hop on that two-seam fastball, which just sort of bores down and in on right-hand hitters. And that one had something on it. There it is again, just misses. It's 1-1.
And that's where you want to miss if you throw that sinker. Farther in, farther down. Hopefully get that swinging strike. If he does put it in play, it's probably an easy ground ball to the left side. That time Bird was able to lay off.
Trying to keep the sun off the neck, I guess. 1-1. I talked about Brandon's off-season exercise program and his effort to build up his physical strength and try and hold off that what has now become an annual shoulder injury, that back problem he has. And as a result, he's a little stronger this year. Last year, 92, 93. This year, he'll often get up 94, 95 sometimes. He's found a little more velocity with the added strength. Goes upstairs to get Marlon Byrd. That's 6 strikeouts now for Brandon McCarthy. And that's something he said he wanted to increase. Yes, he's become a pitch to contact guy, get ground ball outs, but he also wants to get more strikeouts.
Well, there are situations in the game where you just need to miss the bat. If a batter puts a ball in play, you've got your infield playing back with a runner at third, that's going to score a run. There are occasions where, as a starting pitcher, as a relief pitcher, you need to have a pitch where you can miss a bat. And against Marlon Byrd, that elevated fastball is a great weapon.
Dominic Brown grounded out. Yeah, Brandon said after his final start of last season that his strikeout numbers have to go up. And he'd like to get from 1 or 2 strikeouts through 7, which is where he was last year, to 5 or 6 every time out. Just to cut down on those balls, those little grounders that squeak through the infield for base hits. And that's going to happen when you pitch to contact. And he says the key there to getting those strikeouts, develop the off-speed stuff, especially with the increased velocity on the fastball. He says, I can throw strikes all day long. It's being able to throw the strikes that I want them to swing at, and that's the difference. So with that added velocity on the fastball, if you can find a swing and miss breaking ball, the strikeouts will go up. Oh, 0-2 to Dominic Brown. Got him. 7 strikeouts for Brandon McCarthy. He strands the one-out double. As we head to the home half of the fourth, the Diamondbacks trailing 1-0. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Coming up, Martin Prado, Paul Goldschmidt, and Miguel Montero, who is red hot. Today is the 10th anniversary of Randy Johnson's perfect game. You can join the D-backs for a special pregame ceremony as we welcome Randy back here to Chase Field and celebrate his incredible achievement. A perfect game 10 years ago. You don't want to miss it. You can be here with us. For tickets, visit dbacks.com/tickets. Best lefty starter ever in the modern era. You'd have to put Randy Johnson on the list along with the guy they called lefty, Steve Carlton, and of course the great Warren Spahn. The dominant left-hander. So we will celebrate Randy Johnson's perfect game coming up May 18th, 3 weeks from today. Join us at Chase Field. Martin Prado leads off the fourth. Prado flying out to center his first time. There's a strike, 1-1. Brandon McCarthy has looked outstanding, given up only 3 hits. He's got 7 strikeouts, but Bobby keeps going back to Ken Crenshaw and looking at that finger in the dugout.
Looks like the middle finger, maybe the nail on the middle finger. So I'm looking at it out on the mound a couple times in that last half inning, getting some treatment again in the dugout right now.
It is amazing how much attention pitchers have to pay to their fingernails.
Manicures are a regular thing. Almost always see him. Oh, Martin Prado flailing a slider in the dirt that time.
5 strikeouts for Burnett.
It's not unusual to get shots of the pitcher in the dugout with a nail file or an emery board, working on their nails, working on their cuticles. But this is more of a maintenance thing. And a lot of times a pitcher, believe it or not, and certainly we don't recommend this for those of you watching and listening at home, they just take some super glue. You got a little bit of a blister, put some super glue over it. Nails chipping a little bit, super glue it back on. Get through the ball game, we'll figure it out later.
Paul Goldschmidt with one out in the fourth. And this is not the case with Brandon McCarthy, but I know there are pitchers who, for whatever reason, are more prone or susceptible to those types of injuries. Guys come up with blisters all the time for some reason. Used to happen with Josh Beckett a lot.
Sometimes it's the pitches you throw put a little extra strain. You get a little more friction on the fingertips at the point of release. Sometimes guys are unusually heavy sweaters and they get a lot of fluid on, a lot of perspiration on their hand during a ball game, and that will accelerate blisters.
This is another stretch for Brandon McCarthy during which he is outstanding. As Goldie strikes out for the second time, that's now 6 strikeouts for Burnett. We've seen Brandon McCarthy go on these runs where he'll go 2, 3, 4 innings and just retire one batter after another. And he's got one of those going here today, just 3 hits.
Nasty slider that time from Burnett. That's about his 4th best pitch, but he's thrown some real good ones in this inning. Got that feeble swing from Martin Prado, and then it's Goldie to chase one out of the zone.
Burnett struck out 2 in the first, 2 in the second. He's got 2 Ks here in the fourth as he works to Miguel Montero. Here's a strike, 0-1. Miggy last 15 games hitting .320 with 11 RBIs. And Bob talked about the increased plate discipline during that 15-game span. He's also walked 10 times. Much more selective up there. And Miggy's saying he's trying to let the ball get a little bit deeper, get a better look at it. And he says if he doesn't get anything to hit, he is telling himself, look, don't chase. Lay off, because last year he would chase at those pitches, not this year. The walk rate way up. In fact, this year, that one will drift into the seats. Miguel Montero's walk rate 14%. That's the highest of his career. We talked about the strikeout rate, 23% last year, 9% this year. So, boy, that is really, really trending in a great direction for Miggy this season.
Absolutely.
Plate discipline. It's often times something that seems like it's innate. How do you practice that? You just talk yourself into it, I guess?
I mean, it's something you can work on usually in spring training or in winter ball. It's not something you really want to think about when you're up there at the plate, but it all goes together with confidence as well. Last year Miggy was struggling, trying to do way too much. His confidence level was down, had a lot of mechanical issues with his swing, but got off to a much better start this year, feeling good about himself, feeling good about his swing, so the confidence level goes up. You narrow that strike zone down a little bit. It all goes hand in hand.
He's back even here, 2-2. Ooh. It hit him in the same spot, that left foot. And at least he's able to laugh it off. Kind of like a, are you kidding me smile?
We talk all the time about that back foot slider, and this is a perfect example of one. It ended up hitting him in the back foot. Oh, man. Get an ice bag ready, Ken Crenshaw.
Mike Harkey, the pitching coach. And at least we're able to laugh about it. So Miggy on first, 2 down. Here's Aaron Hill, who struck out his first time. And Aaron, another hot bat in this lineup. Last 10 games, hitting nearly .320. He's up to .252 on the year. Hard to center. Drops in front of Revere. Montero will head for third. He's in there, bad foot and all.
Some aggressive base running by Miggy. I think he caught Ben Revere by surprise. Late release that time by the Phillies center fielder. Put the throw right on the money, but Miggy just outran it. Little trouble finding the grip there out of the glove. She's tagged never does get back to the base, and Miggy in safely.
And now we'll see the Diamondbacks. They got a 2-out base runner on the hit by pitch by Montero. Hill singles him to third, and a chance to tie the ball game for Cody Ross. Cody struck out his first time. Cody says a whole bunch of his Diamondback teammates have welcomed him back from injury. And all through that 1-for-22 start, his teammates were consistently patting him on the back, letting him know he was missed. They welcome back his smile, his personality, his energy. He gives everybody a lift all the time. And he certainly did offensively last night with that 3 RBI game. Ryan Howard right to him. So the Diamondbacks get a chance, but they strand 2 and through 4. They trail the Phillies 1-0. Blister issue, but it has not stopped him from striking out 7 Phillies so far and giving up only 3 hits.
Boy, really good command. We've seen him bounce some breaking balls in 2-strike counts to get swings and misses, but most importantly, that elevated fastball, that 4-seamer up in the zone, just rushing it right by some of these Phillies hitters.
McCarthy and A.J. Burnett, the Phillies starter, have combined for 13 strikeouts and only 1 run allowed, and they are our APS Energy All-Stars. Matchup of veteran starters. And now the backup catcher, former D-back, Will Nieves leads off the 5th. Nieves, Ashe, and Burnett, bottom 3rd of the Philadelphia order. Will Nieves struck out his first time. Thompson into right. That's the 4th hit for the Phillies.
Third baseman.
Fans, do you think you're Arizona's #1 super fan? Well, you better hurry up. You have only a few days until April 30th to prove it. The winner gets a sports lover's dream package. Log on to foxsportsarizona.com/superfan
for all the details. Keeping out of the sun up there. Cody Ashe struck out looking his first time. Cody Ashe benched in Los Angeles this week when the Phillies were there playing 4 games against the Dodgers. He's not been hitting, and Ryan Sandberg says they are evaluating the third base spot a day at a time here with the Phillies between Ashe and Freddie Galvis, who started yesterday. And Ruben Amaro, who was the Phillies GM, was pretty frank about Cody Ashe's poor start. He said, look, he's just not playing as well as we like. But they have to give him chances to play. Amaro said sometimes you just have to go through growing pains with the kiddies. Everybody wants him to be an all-star right away. It doesn't happen that way. And it's not happening with Cody Ashe. Patience.
It's a virtue.
How do you know when to stick with a young guy or say, you know what, this kid just doesn't have it? Is there an alarm that goes off, a sign, a bell?
I think what you have to really keep an eye out for is if a guy is becoming mentally defeated because of his struggles. You know, some guys a little tougher than others. They can take some adversity. They can go up there and struggle for weeks at a time and still keep a good positive mental outlook, still go out there and grind away. Other guys that are maybe a little more mentally fragile, it can ruin careers. You bring guys up maybe a little bit ahead of their time or before they're ready and run them out there and they struggle mightily, and they start to lose their confidence, and then they second guess themselves, and before you know it, they're carrying a lunchbox somewhere.
3-2. 8 strikeouts, new season high for Brandon McCarthy.
Hey fans, MLB.tv Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers who watch every out-of-market game live on over 400 devices. Visit dbacks.com for details.
Here's another look at Brandon McCarthy, number 8 on the day. There's that breaking ball.
He's done a nice job of spotting that down in the strike zone, starting at mid-thigh, breaking it down below the knees.
A.J. Burnett. Prado and Goldschmidt in well on the grass at third and first, respectively. Brandon McCarthy turned around. Aaron Hill saw that and had to race over from his second base spot to cover the bag at first. And so Alan Trammell getting everything sorted out down there with Glenn Sherlock. They will hold Nieves on. That one is fouled away. A little chaotic on that first bunt attempt.
Well, this is something the Diamondbacks were working on the other day. I think it's possibly a design play to try to lure that runner into breaking for second when they see Goldie leave the base early. At that time, Will Nieves, who's not an adventurous base runner, didn't bite.
Backup catchers rarely are. No. There's a strike, 0-2. This was Friday in the afternoon, early at Chase Field, working on this very play. They like to practice with the Venezuelan techno-pop over the PA here at the ballpark. There's the strikeout. And now that's 9 for Brandon McCarthy as A.J. Burnett cannot get the bunt down. And that'll bring up Ben Revere.
Fielder Ben Revere.
Revere singled, stole a base, and scored back in the first. He grounded out his last time up. So he has got 13 hits in his last 31 at bats. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7. And Ben Revere more often than not hits the ball on the ground. A ground ball rate this season of 67%. Only the White Sox' Adam Eaton and the Brewers' Gene Segura hit the ball on the ground more frequently than Ben Revere. 1-1. But with his speed, that's what you want.
Absolutely, and when possible, pitching against Ben Revere, up and out over the plate, hopefully get him to hit the ball the opposite field in the air. It's a very abbreviated scouting report on a lot of guys like Ben Revere. Pitch him away, play him away.
That one is on the ground and into left. It's by Prado at third. And Ben Revere, another multi-hit game. He has hit safely now in 6 of his last 7, with each game being a multi-hit game. They are coming in bunches these days for Ben Revere. So now it's first and second, 2 down for Jimmy Rollins. Can't hold up, 0-1. Brandon McCarthy, 81 pitches, 58 for strikes. He's been in or around the strike zone all day long, and he will strand 2 here. Phillies strand 2. McCarthy keeping his ball club in the game. It's 1-0 Phillies as we head to the home half of the 5th.
Sunday, May 18th, marks the 10-year anniversary of Randy Johnson.
Ball is presented by Sanderson Ford. A picture perfect day here at Chase Field where the Diamondbacks trail the Phillies 1-0. And the Elvis Superman is in the house. The Man of Steel. And peanut butter and banana sandwiches. A.J. Pollock, he's been a Superman at the plate lately for the Diamondbacks. He'll lead off the 5th against A.J. Burnett. AJ singled his first time up, so AJ and AJ here. Great day to be out there at the pool. Ain't no horseplay out there. Two 2-0. A.J. Pollock had that very slow start to the season at the plate. Didn't look at all comfortable up there. Was 3 for 23 to open the year, but he has really rebounded since then. He's up to 282 on the season. And over his last 17 games, he's hit .333. 1 for 1 so far today. 2-0. Hard to short, right to Rollins. Backs him up, throws him out, 1 away.
Now, A.J. Burnett is Alan James Burnett. But A.J. Pollock,
Alan Lorenz.
Alan Lorenz, yeah.
The funny thing about that is A.J. Pollock's teammates will often call him Alan, like the guy from The Hangover. Alan. Which is actually pretty funny when you're on the road.
Yeah.
It's late in the elevator and somebody pushes the wrong button and you hear Alan. Chris Owings. CO, hard to right, Marlon Bird. Won't get there, it's off the wall. Chris Owings is at second and headed for third. His first triple. This kid's a hitter and a base runner.
He's just a really, really good athlete. Has great instincts on the field. He knows if this ball gets down in the gap, he's got a chance for 3. So he's thinking that right out of the batter's box. One last peek over his shoulder before he hit the bag at second. Easily in at third base.
First career triple for Chris Owings, the 22-year-old rookie. Leading the league in rookie hits as Brandon McCarthy steps up. You want to put a play on here, try to get this run in, or just keep your fingers crossed and hope for something through the infield?
I think you have to cross your fingers and hope for something through the infield here. Brandon McCarthy couldn't get the bunt down successfully in his last at bat, just trying to move up a couple of runners.
Infielders are on the grass. That one is right back to Burnett. Quick hands. Snares it, looks Owings back to the bag at third and throws out McCarthy.
Get out of the way.
That was hard hit right up the middle, and AJ made a nice play. This is a shot right back to the mound.
Great reaction by A.J. Burnett. Didn't think he had it in him. That ball looked like it was ticketed for center field, an RBI, tie ball game, but Burnett looks like a middle infielder snare that one.
Well, this is the spot in which we've seen the Diamondbacks really struggle this season. You've got a key run or runners on in scoring position and 2 outs, and you've just got to find a way to get that run home and tie the ball game, and it's up to Gerardo Parra here. He's 0 for 2. He hit into a double play his last time up. Chris Owings at third, 2 down. Trying to get that run home. Lifted the other way. It backs up Dominic Brown at the track, at the wall, and he's got it. And they strand Owings at third. So through 5 at Chase, the Diamondbacks still trail it 1-0.
Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Cox Communications. Bundle and save with Cox.
Gorgeous day in the Valley of the Sun. The Diamondbacks trail the Phillies 1-0 as we start the 6th inning here in downtown Phoenix at Chase Field. And hey, fans, don't forget, it's time to tweet us your photo using the old hashtag AZFanPhoto on the Twitter. Chance to have your fan photo shown in our broadcast later in the ball game. Brought to you by AT&T. Just use the hashtag AZFanPhoto. Now, the governor's not here today. He has got the day off back at the estate. Feet up, watching the ball game. So it's Jeff Munn on the call. So are you on your own now in terms of the fan photo?
Sure.
I need a volunteer. Brendley, you just volunteered. Utley down the line in right. That's a fair ball. Parra plays it off the hop, and Chase Utley is in at second with his 11th double this year. Well, McCarthy's been throwing strikes, and Utley went up there looking for one.
Boy, and golfed that ball down into the right field corner. That one down around knee level, maybe even a little below. But I mentioned it last night. Chase Utley's like a lot of lefties. He hits everything, but especially that ball down and in. That's his wheelhouse.
So a big run there in a 1-0 ball game in the 6th. Ryan Howard doubled his last time up. Brandon now at 83 pitches, 60 for strikes. He has been over 100 pitches only once this year. And that was 2 starts ago. He threw 104 in the loss to the Mets here at Chase Field. Ryan Howard's up there hacking. This one is sky to left. Cody Ross in the dark out there. Utley at second will bluff. That's the first out.
A nice job that time by A.J. Pollock to hustle over from center field for no other reason than to let Cody Ross know that Chase Utley was tagging up at second base right there. A very high fly ball, but basically a routine fly ball to left field, and Chase Utley went back to tag just to see what happened out there. And a lot of times a left fielder will just assume, well, he's at second base. There's no way he's going to tag right in my face. A.J. Pollock wanted to alert Cody that, yes, indeed, Chase Utley was tagging up.
Arlen Bird 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Now, it's been Mark Trumbo out there for most of this season. Obviously, Mark is going to be out at least 6 weeks with that broken bone in his foot. And we know, because A.J. Pollock has told us, that he's really comfortable out there with Gerardo Parra in right, because those two are familiar with each other, having played alongside one another for so long. But now it's new guys out there in left. It's Tony Campana, it's Cody Ross. How uncomfortable can that be initially?
Well, initially, the most important thing is just communicate. Just talk to each other. You know, we know these guys all have voices. We hear them in the clubhouse and on the bus. They can be very loud at times. So, you know, the important thing is to talk out there. And, you know, AJ's familiar with Cody Ross. The one issue you have with a left-handed throwing left fielder and a right-handed throwing center fielder, it's neither glove side on a ball hit between them.
Chris Owings smothers that one, throws to third, it gets away, and Utley will come in and score. A terrific stop by Chris Owings at short, maybe not a great decision on the throw. And Bird will be awarded second. It's 2-0.
I believe that throw actually hit the runner. Nice diving stop by Chris Owings. And it did. It hit Chase Utley and went into foul territory, ultimately into the Diamondbacks dugout on the third base side. That's just a tough break. You can see where Martin Prado was, well up in front of the bag at third. It's unfortunate that the runner got between the ball and rather between the throw and Martin Prado.
Owens behind the bag. They throw out Dominic Brown. Bird advances 2 outs. I mean, Prado, as Bob mentioned, was a good 4 or 5 feet off the bag there.
Catcher Will Nieves.
And it was going to be very hard to get Utley anyway.
It's always a tough one because as a third baseman, your first reaction when that ball's hit to your left is to go a step or two to your left, and then you realize, oh, geez, the only play he's going to have is to third base, so you try to get back and put yourself in a position to take that throw, but just didn't have enough time to get back to the bag.
And now you see on the left-hand side of your screen that shadow creeping in. It used to be just a corner of left field. Now it's starting to get that whole left side of the infield with Prado at third in the shadow as Will Nieves takes a strike. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Brandon McCarthy has been doing a wonderful job of keeping his ball club in the game. It's only 2-0 now. Right back to the mound. And they will strand the runner at third, but the Phillies add one more. And we go to the home half. It's now a 2-0 ball game. CenturyLink, your link to what's next coming out for the Diamondbacks in the 6th. It's Paul Goldschmidt.
Nothing ball game right now, bottom of the 6th. Guys, Bob and Steve, as we've seen from Prado as of recent, he's going through a tough streak, struggling recently, had an error last night and then caught stealing, which led to a controversial return play last night. I asked him, I asked his close friend Miguel Montero, his teammate, how Prado is feeling mentally. He says he knows it's weighing down on him because that's just the kind of player he is. We saw that a bit last year in the beginning of the season. He puts a lot on his shoulders, but he's a team player, and Gibson said he's excited to see him back out here and play well.
Thank you, Lisa. Martin will lead off the 6th after striking out his last time up. Prado, Goldie, Montero, 2, 3, and 4 against A.J. Burnett, who so far has given up only 4 hits and now has a 2-0 lead. Yeah, Martin Prado had a 6-game hitting streak in the middle of the month, and it looked like he might have a really solid April. But as Lisa mentioned, he's been struggling since that 6-game hit streak ended. Prado has hit about 200 over the last 2 weeks. It's been slow going. And you remember what he went through last April coming over from the Braves, and he admitted then the trade from Atlanta stunned him. And he got here, he got caught up in trying to prove something. as the main player traded for Justin Upton, trying to impress everybody in Arizona. And he seemed to have that personality where he does carry some of that with him. And Martin said last year he would drive home after games and just wonder what's going on. Said it was like a bad dream. But once he got going, June 25th in Washington, he was an entirely different player. And he hit better than 320 over his last 82 games. So you know that once he sort of gets comfortable and figures it out, he is a really tough out. And based on the track record, there's absolutely no reason to think that won't happen here sometime soon. 3-1. Right to Jimmy Rollins at short. One away in the sixth. First out. Brings up Goldie.
That's part of what makes Martin Prado a great teammate. Everywhere he's been, all of his teammates rave about what he brings to the ball club. But you know, that caring, that feeling like he's not carrying his load, that's part of what makes him a good teammate and part of what makes him very hard on himself.
Goldie has struck out twice. Diamondbacks have had their chances. They had Pollock and Owings singles to lead off the third. Couldn't get a run across. They had Chris Owings at third with one out in the fifth and couldn't get the run home. So trying to piece together a couple of hits against Burnett, who's still at only 74 pitches through 5 1/3. Hop to short, Rollins again. Has been busy down there. 2 up, 2 down in the sixth. They love their D-backs.
Miguel Montero limping up to home plate. He's had a rough day today. At least his left foot has had a rough day. Takes his foul tip. Oh, ouch. And gets hit on that same foot later on. A.J. Burnett's slider catches him. Oh, boy.
Why would anyone do this? What were you thinking?
I don't know. I can't imagine playing another position, and I played other positions, and I was bored to death, bored to tears.
First pitch swinging for Miggy in the air to center. Ben Revere right on the edge of the shadow has it in the dark. And Burnett works a 1-2-3-6. Then through 6, the Phillies lead it 2-0. For your satellite provider, go to foxsports1.com. We're into the 7th on a gorgeous day in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Brandon McCarthy has scattered 7 hits. He's given up only 2 runs. He has tied his career high. Pardon me, he's one shy of his career high with 9 strikeouts. Tough he goes. I wish the backup catcher has been dispatched to the bullpen, with McCarthy closing in on 100 pitches. So this might be it for Brandon here in the 7th, as Cody Ashe leads off for the Phillies.
I think part of that has to do with the fact that Miguel Montero made the last out in the bottom of the 6th. And should Kirk Gibson need to go out and get Brandon McCarthy in this inning, probably going to make a double switch, put the pitcher in Miggy's spot, and put Tuffy in that 9 hole. Hopefully it's nothing to do with that left foot that's been taking a beating today.
Sanderson Ford bullpen. Oliver Perez limbering up after he was unavailable last night. We found out after the game Kirk Gibson went into the ball game extremely short-handed last night, which is why we saw Trevor Cahill for so long in that inning, with Delgado and Perez and Ziegler and Reed all unavailable. And it's tough, Bob, when you know at the beginning of the day, okay, 4 guys in my bullpen can't throw. So you're really hamstrung there.
Oh, yeah. Which is why this outing by Brandon McCarthy today is huge, getting into the 7th inning here. Hopefully further. Strikes out a Cody Ashe to start the inning.
And there's number 10. That ties his career high. It's the 4th time in his career that Brandon McCarthy has struck out 10 in a ball game. He's got Ashe for the 3rd time. He's got Burnett twice so far, and AJ's up there with 1 out in the 7th. And he has been throwing strikes, nothing but. 97 pitches, 71 for strikes for Brandon McCarthy. Or Zombie Night was a big hit, right? Friday.
Yeah, look, AJ Burnett even took part, had his face painted like a zombie. Everybody joining in the fun here at Chase Field on Friday night.
We got another Zombie Night coming up later this month, or later this year as well. August 2nd with zombie bobbleheads. We've added the bobblehead to Zombie Night. Next level.
For a zombie, wouldn't the bobblehead just fall off?
Don't overthink it. So McCarthy a strike away from a career high 11th strikeout. 0-2 to Burnett. There it is, 11 strikeouts, a new career high for Brandon McCarthy.
Absolutely dealing today. You'd like to think that you can give up a couple of runs in a ball game and still have a chance to win, but until the D-backs offense gives him something to work with here, Brandon McCarthy just going to keep painting those corners, moving that fastball up, down, in, out, mixing the occasional curveball. He's been outstanding today.
And he's adamant. He feels really good. He feels good about his stuff. He feels good physically out there at 100 pitches now. And we've seen him go through these long stretches this year where he just mows them down one after the other. And the difference today is he has avoided that big inning. And that's where he's fallen into trouble earlier. Not today, though. He's ahead of Ben Revere, 0-2. Revere's been on base twice, a pair of singles. He's stolen a base and scored a run. Called strike 3, 12 strikeouts for Brandon McCarthy. A new career high as we head to the home half of the 7th. Diamondbacks trail it 2-0. well, perhaps Brandon McCarthy's best start as a Diamondback. He's had a few beauties before we saw last year, but hardly one where he's been more dominant.
I don't think we've seen a start where he has been able to command all of his pitches the way he has in this ball game today. When he's wanted to go up the ladder, he's been able to do that. When he wanted to bounce a breaking ball, he's been able to do that. Tremendous movement on that two-seamer, especially that last strikeout to Ben Revere. Pushed him off the plate. The ball tailed right back over the inside corner. Just an outstanding job today by Brandon McCarthy.
Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool plays in the game. A career high 12 strikeouts for Brandon McCarthy, including the side in order in the 7th. That is the most strikeouts by an Arizona pitcher since Ian Kennedy in June of 2012. A.J. Burnett has got the run support, though, and that's what counts. In the first inning, Chase Utley an RBI single after Ben Revere singled and stole second. That one dropped between Ross and Pollock to bring Revere home. And then Utley involved again in the 6th after he doubled. Comes in on this throwing error. Nice stop by Chris Owings, but the throw trying to get him in third got away. That was the second run, and that's where we are right now as Aaron Hill leads off the 7th. Aaron 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. So there is some, as we talked about at the top of the show, the starting pitching for the Diamondbacks is trending in very much the right direction. But there is one reason to be concerned with Bronson Arroyo, who said after last night's start, just hasn't been feeling well lately, like he had a cold. And today he said, you know, he still doesn't feel right. So Bronson will have some blood drawn tomorrow. He has been suffering from some extreme fatigue. As Aaron Hill lifts that one to center field, easy play for Ben Revere. What's been happening with Bronson, he says, is he's very tired throughout the day and then into the evening. Just doesn't feel right. And then when it gets dark, he suffers from severe headaches. And he's just wiped out physically. So they'll take some blood tomorrow. They'll run some tests and find out exactly what's going on with Bronson Arroyo. He said he felt terrible during his start in Chicago last week. Extreme fatigue. And then yesterday, he was physically spent, he said, after the first inning and had to pitch through it. Pitched a great ball game. But he didn't know what's wrong. Just feels terrible, really tired. It started in Chicago, and when it gets to be nighttime, the headaches, the severe fatigue, so he'll be checked out. The back, he says, is fine. The back is great, no issues whatsoever. But he's just got this thing where he's just fatigued, wiped out physically, accompanied by headaches, so they'll take some tests tomorrow and see what's going on there.
Certainly we hope that's nothing ongoing, something that the doctors will be able to find out what it is and fix it quickly. I tell you, I love to see this. Mike Bolsinger and Wade Miley, Josh Comenter, Bronson Arroyo talking about pitching. Got a baseball over there looking at various grips.
Cody Ross strikes out. That's now 7 strikeouts for A.J. Burnett.
And not to take anything away from Mike Harkey or any other pitching coach in Major League Baseball for that matter, but I think that's the way pitchers learn about their craft, talking to other pitchers. Boy, it has been quite a roll over the last 4 starts for the D-backs, going back to the Bolsinger start in Chicago. Josh Comenter, Bronson Arroyo, and Brandon McCarthy today doing their jobs.
Strike 1 to A.J. Pollock, who's 1 for 2 with a single in the 3rd.
I mean, when pitchers start to talk about different pitches and different grips, you cannot believe how technical and how detailed it gets.
Roller to second, Utley. And A.J. Burnett has retired 8 in a row, works a 1-2-3-7, and will head to the 8th. It's 2-0 Phillies. Communications and Fry's Food Stores is ready to take you to a Diamondbacks game. Just stop by the Cox retail store at Tempe Marketplace and you can enter to win 2 seats on the Fan Express bus to the D-backs game. That's against the Dodgers May 18th. For more info, FoxSportsArizona.com. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks to open the 8th inning is the left-hander Oliver Perez. It's been a busy week for Ollie. He worked in 2 of the 4 games against the Cubs in that series at Wrigley Field. He pitched here at Chase Field Friday night. And the series opener against the Phillies was not available, we were told, yesterday, and is back out there today. And he's sleepless.
Don't need him today. No delays in the ball game. Ryan Sandberg appealed to the home plate umpire that the slit that Oliver Perez had in his sleeves was distracting to the Phillies hitter, so they made him go in and take it off.
And he was clearly angry by the gamesmanship from Ryan Sandberg. A little animated out there. You can see him kind of seething. And he's back out there to work to Jimmy Rollins. Chase Utley and Ryan Howard 2, 3, and 4 in the Philadelphia 8th.
Real good numbers for Perez against 2 of those 3 guys. Jimmy Rollins has had some measure of success, 9 for 27 lifetime with a couple of home runs, but Chase Utley's hitting 188 and Ryan Howard 120 against the D-backs left-hander.
Jimmy Rollins earlier this year went over 200 home runs for the career. And he's putting up quite a resume now, and this is 15th major league season. We talked about his climbing up the charts on some of the Phillies records. Parra fighting the sun. What away. Rollins now just the 19th player ever with at least 400 doubles, 100 triples, and 200 home runs.
Second baseman Chase Utley.
Chase Utley 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, scored a run. He's got an RBI after having a relatively quiet series. He had only 1 hit in the first 2 games, a first inning single last night. Utley began the ball game at .353, the National League's 3rd leading hitter, behind only a couple of Rockies, Charlie Blackmon and Troy Tulowitzki. Colorado in here for 3 at Chase Field beginning tomorrow. dbacks.com/tickets. And we had over 30,000 in here on a perfect Sunday afternoon. We interrupt this marriage for Phillies baseball.
We're talking about those Rockies. I mean, it's not unusual to see the Rockies leading the National League in team batting average, but they have over a 30-point lead over the Brewers, who are the 2nd best average team in the National League.
They will bludgeon you in Colorado.
They were hitting .293 going into play today as you get a look at the probables for the Rockies series coming up.
And interestingly enough, they're going to try and pitch Tyler Chatwood back-to-back games.
Rubber arm.
Well, pitching in Colorado has been an issue, so they're trying something new. We're kidding, of course. Jordan Lyles is going to pitch another game of that series. 1-2 to Utley. They've tried everything else. Adams the righty, Bastardo the lefty. We saw both those guys last night. And getting to Jonathan Papelbon. 2-2 to Utley, 1 out in the game. The Louis Tion delivery is driven to right. Ryan Parra, 2 down. I like when he gives you the full Louis Tion. The El Tiante.
First baseman.
I remember when Louis Tion was, of course, a longtime Red Sox. And very late in his career, he went over to the Yankees. He had a great career with the Indians and the Twins, and then long time, of course, was really dominant with the Red Sox, and then he wound up late in his career with the Yankees, and he did radio commercials for Yankee Franks. That was the hot dog then. As Ryan Howard steps in, and Kind of a dig to Red Sox fans. The radio commercial said at the end, Louis would say, after all these years in Boston, it's nice to be with a wiener. The shift is on, and Ryan Howard hits right into it. It's still a 2-0 ball game as we head to the home half of the game. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Coming up for the Diamondbacks, Chris Owings leads off the 8th. The entire day from batting practice right up until the last inning here at Chase Field, compressed in 16 seconds. Look at that shadow creeping in. What a day in downtown Phoenix. Picture postcard weather. Roof and panels open, nice and comfortable in the ballpark. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports Arizona as we find ourselves in the 8th inning, and the Diamondbacks trail the Phillies 2-0 with A.J. Burnett back out there on the mound. He's got 7 strikeouts. He has retired the last 8 he's faced, and he'll work to Chris Owings to lead off the 8th. Pitcher spot is due up next. Cliff Pennington is in the on-deck circle. Up and in, 1-0.
25 hitters have made their way to the plate. Chris Owings is number 26, and 14 of the 25 previous hitters saw 3 or fewer pitches today against A.J. Burnett. Now, you could say, oh, they're overly aggressive. I think it's just a fact that you got a real good pitcher on the mound that's just hammering away at that strike zone, and sometimes that's the best approach. Unfortunately, just haven't been able to find any holes.
Of course, the Diamondbacks last night scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third. They led it 5-0, but they have now gone scoreless in 13 innings, and Burnett jumps ahead 1-2. So it's been feast or famine offensively with this ball club all year long, and A.J. Burnett has kept them scoreless here today. But Chris Owings continues to look more and more impressive up there. A single and a triple in this ball game, his first career triple. The number's on Burnett right now. And Chris up there hitting .333 over his last 10 games. And that number has gone up. He's 2 for 2 today. Chases that one. That's 8 strikeouts for Burnett. He's retired 9 in a row.
That's the A.J. Burnett slider we mentioned at the top of the show. He throws a couple of different breaking pitches. One is what they call a spiked curveball, where he kind of digs his index finger into the ball and really pulls down with that middle finger. But this is a legitimate slider, and he's got some really awkward swings from D-backs hitters. I think it's because that's a pitch that A.J. Burnett doesn't use that often.
Cliff Pennington will try his luck. Penny at 273 on the year. Well, we told you going in, even though A.J. Burnett hadn't had the results to show for it, he has pitched very well all season long. 2 earned runs or fewer in 4 of his 5 starts. And he's working on a shutout here today. He's still given up only 1 home run all year. And he's got the walks under control. Remember, this guy was a wild through the early portions of his career. A guy who walked 9 while throwing a no-hitter. That was back in 2001 with the Marlins at San Diego. First pitcher in baseball's modern era to have 9 walks in a 9-inning no-no. And with the Phillies, he walked 6 in back-to-back starts earlier this month. But he had walked a total of just 3 over his previous 2 starts, and he's had excellent command here today.
Very early on in his career, A.J. Burnett was one of those guys that would throw a pitch to home plate and immediately whip around to check the radar gun reading. And when he'd get in trouble, he'd try to throw harder and harder and harder. And with experience, he's learned that a little bit of movement, throwing more quality strikes is a lot better than just trying to overwhelm opposing hitters with that mid to upper 90s fastball that he used to feature.
3-2 to Pennington. And to Ryan Howard, he'll take it himself. FoxSportsArizona.com, all the online local sports coverage you're looking for. You won't find it anywhere else, like Jack Magruder on the D-backs players standing behind Kirk Gibson and Kevin Towers, plus all the postgame reaction and analysis from today. And video of Patrick Corbin yesterday handing out his own bobblehead at Patrick Corbin Bobblehead Day. All that and more right now, FoxSportsArizona.com. Diamondbacks looking for a base runner here. Gerardo Parra for 3.
It was nice to have Patrick Corbin in the booth for an inning last night. Of course, we wish we'd never see him again so he could be down on the field doing what it is we want him to do. But very gracious of him to come up and spend some time with us.
That one is carved into left center, and Parra will take the turn. Gerardo Parra, 2-out double, his 4th double this year. Just kind of carve that one into the gap in left center. It's dark out there.
Well, with Ben Revere's speed, I fully expected him to cut that ball off, but side English on that ball, a little bit of an inside-out swing from Gerardo Parra. The ball just shot by Revere all the way to the wall.
Well, 13 innings without a run. A chance to snap that streak right here for the D-backs with Burnett at 96 pitches. The relievers in the Phillies bullpen look ready. In fact, it might be time for them. Here's Ryan Sandberg. Mentioned A.J. Burnett creeping up on 100. He's been over 100 pitches in his last 4 starts. And through 105 in his previous outing. That was Tuesday at Dodger Stadium. His high for the season is 109. So he certainly, based on the track record, should have enough left in the tank to get that final out. If you're Ryan Sandberg. Prado 0 for 3. Martin 1 for 5 last night. He had that 9th inning single. Couple of hits in Friday's series opener. Parra lurking in the shadows at second. Two 2-0. Out of play. Nicely played there by Scott Shanner. Golden Glover down the right field line. And we have veteran Dave Abdu down the left field line. The thinker. Two and two. Sanderson forward bullpen. Brad Ziegler with the right-hander. Addison Reed, the closer, had been up and throwing.
You see Addison Reed just sitting on the other mound down there. He's close enough now that if Martin Prado would happen to go deep here, Paul Goldschmidt run up there and hit a ball out of the ballpark, Addison Reed be ready with the 8 pitches he gets on the game mound. He'll be ready to go.
Tap to third. Ashe comes over, cuts off Rollins, and throws him out. So A.J. Burnett strands the 2-out double and sends us to the 9th. Diamondbacks down 2-0. April 27th of 03. Your first look at Webby.
Well, first look at the big leagues anyway. We knew what Brandon Webb was all about. Nice job, kid. Go back to AAA. Randy Johnson came off the disabled list to pitch game 2 of that doubleheader, and Brandon Webb had to go back to AAA. Not for long, though.
Brad Ziegler on for the Diamondbacks. He'll work the 9th. Marlon Byrd, Dominic Brown, Will Levis, 5, 6, and 7, the scheduled hitters for Philadelphia. A terrific start by Brandon McCarthy, a career-high 12 strikeouts. The most by a D-backs pitcher since Ian Kennedy in June of 2012 against the Rockies. Ian that day also struck out 12. Last Diamondback with 13 strikeouts, Randy Johnson, August of 2008 against the Marlins. And don't forget, fans, 3 weeks from today, the 10th anniversary of Randy Johnson's perfect game. And you can join the Diamondbacks for that special pregame ceremony as we welcome Randy back to Chase Field. dbacks.com/tickets for that one. That'll be a special day, so make sure you're here if you can. And join us. Marlon Byrd 0 for 3. Dropped that one into right. Time now to reveal our AT&T fan photo as promised earlier in the ball game. Use the hashtag AZFanPhoto, and baby, what you come up with here?
Well, I got some assistance from Tom Candiotti. Pinch hitting for the governor today. Well, we like groups. We like it when families or groups, church groups, school groups, whatever the case may be, bring your whole business out to the ballpark and enjoy the day.
That's brought to us by our friends at AT&T, and fans, tweet us your fan photo using the hashtag AZFanPhoto, and you'll get a chance to have your picture shown on the Diamondbacks game broadcast. Dominic Brown 0 for 3. Jonathan Papelbon. He threw 8 pitches last night, got the save. His 7th of the season. And he'll try and close this one out for A.J. Burnett, presumably. 1-1. Roller up the first base line. Ziegler picks it up before it goes foul, and he throws out Brown. As Bird moves up 90 feet, 1 away.
Well, not an easy thing to do for a guy that throws submarine to pick up this ball on the first baseline. A little bit of a jump and an overhand toss to get it over Dominic Brown. On to Paul Goldschmidt for the out.
Little Tim Tebow jump throw here.
Yeah, a little bit.
The jump pass, as it were. So Bird at second, 1 away for Will Nieves, who's 1 for 3 with a single. We used to call him one-hit Will. Every time he started last year for the D-backs, he'd give you at least the 1 for 4.
Well, he's already had his 1 a day.
Will last year, 71 games for the Diamondbacks, hit .297, did a great job as the backup catcher. And now he's got the same role here with Philadelphia behind the veteran Carlos Ruiz. This is a guy that was a 47th round draft pick by the Padres back in '95. Will Nieves. That one is rolled to second. Easy play for Aaron Hill. Bird to third, 2 down.
I beg to differ, partner.
Okay.
That was not an easy play. That ball hit the side of the mound. Ricocheted back toward Aaron Hill. Not only that, but the second base umpire, Mark Wegner, kind of got in the way. Had to jump out at the last instant. And it was very close to that sun shadow line out there. He had a lot to deal with, but makes it look like a routine play.
Made it look easy.
Yes, he did.
The mound, the shadow, the ump, the whole thing. Cody Asche is 0 for 3. He has struck out 3 times. That shadow is now well across the sort of the middle of the field, and it's now branching out into right center. And you've got the mound encased in shadow and the left-hand batter's box all in the sun. It can't be a lot of fun trying to hit Brad Ziegler in the shadows. Bring him up and sit him down. Asche 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and they strand Bird at third. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. It'll be Goldie, Biggie, and Aaron Hill for the D-backs.
Hill is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Closer is on. Double switch from Ryan Sandberg. Freddie Galvis, they like his glove at third, so he's in there for Ashe. And the new pitcher is the closer. We saw Jonathan Papelbon last night. He gave up a single to Martin Prado, who eventually was ruled out at second base in the 9th inning on that controversial play where they used expanded replay to overturn the call on the field. Then he struck out Goldie and got Miguel Montero to fly out. And now he'll work the Goldschmidt, Montero, and Hill here in the 9th. Goldie so far 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Well, Davis decided, you know what, the shadows are creeping in enough, I don't need these. Left-hand batter's box is in the sun, right-hand box is in the shade. Goldschmidt and Papelbon to open the home half of the 9th. Diamondbacks need at least 2 here. There's the strike, 0-1. Jonathan Papelbon, 9 consecutive scoreless appearances since April the 5th. During that span, he is 7 for 7 in save opportunities. Saw Goldie hitless last night, 0 for 3. Snapped a 7-game hitting streak. Just the 4th game all season he did not have at least 1 hit, but he's 0 for 3 right now. This is up and away, 2-1. Two balls and 2 strikes. That is in the glove of Galvis at third. Goldie up the line, and he can't beat it out. Freddie Galvis, the defensive replacement at third, and we just saw why.
By Galvis, fully extended, throws from his knees, gets an assist over there from big Ryan Howard, who plays that one hopper up into the midsection, shows the ball to the umpire. They just do get Goldie over there at first.
And now Papelbon will work to Miguel Montero, who does not have a hit off Papelbon in his career. Miggy 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Diamondbacks, since they led the Phillies yesterday 5-0 in the 3rd, 14 innings without a run. They need at least 2 right here. It's another case for the D-backs of just not syncing up. One aspect of the game is performing, the other is not. Today, Brandon McCarthy outstanding, a career-high 12 strikeouts, but the Diamondbacks looking for some runs. That's a good start. Base hit for Montero into right, and they get the tying run to the plate with 1 out in the 9th.
Topspin grounder. You see Chase Utley playing several steps back on the outfield grass. He can't even close ground quickly enough to get to that one.
So Aaron Hill is the tying run at the plate. Hill singled in the 4th. He is 1 for 3. Not a whole lot of luck career against Papelbon.
lot of experience. The 20 at-bats that Aaron Hill has had against Papelbon, far and away the most by any Diamondbacks hitter.
Former AL East rivals with the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Well, they've gotten big hits from Aaron Hill throughout this series. Need one more. Aaron had the home run and the double in Friday's series opener. He drove in 3. Couple of hits last night, a single, a double, a walk. He scored a run. Two and one. Called strike 2. Hard to center, right at Revere. It's up to Cody Ross. Diamondbacks live. Cindy Brunson, Jody Jackson follows the ball game. Cody is 0 for 3 today. He has struck out twice. Tying run at the plate, 2 down in the 9th. That's a foul ball.
Galva's positioned right on that line down there at third base. Rarely had to move to get into foul territory. You see him just about a big step off that line, a crossover. He's right there to backhand it in foul territory.
Two balls and a strike. Goldie hitless in back-to-back games for the first time this season. Out of play. It's full, 3-2. A.J. Pollock on deck. 3-2, 2 outs, bottom 9. Montero will be off with a pitch at first. Bounce to short, Jimmy Rollins. And the Phillies win the ball game. They shut out the Diamondbacks 2-0. The D-backs shut out for the 4th time this season. They have now gone 15 innings without scoring a run. And after winning the series opener, they drop the back 2 games of this series, and the Phillies come in here, Bob, and take 2 of 3.
Well, you never feel good about losing a ball game, but you have to really feel good about Brandon McCarthy and the entire starting rotation and the way they have kind of righted the ship and at least given the team a chance to win the ball game. Now I got to get the offense and defense clicking.
Brandon McCarthy outstanding, a career-high 12 strikeouts, but the Diamondbacks cannot scratch a run across as the offense has dried up here. After a promising week, they drop this one 2-0, and now get ready for the first of 3, starting on Monday against the Colorado Rockies in here at Chase Field. We hope to see you there. Don't forget dbacks.com/tickets for the Diamondbacks and the Rockies Monday through Wednesday at Chase Field. Now let's start Diamondbacks live. Phillies taking 2-0. Sidney Brunson is with Jody Jackson.
Thanks so much, Steve. Appreciate it. Jonathan Papelbon with his 8th save already on the season as the Phillies take the series here, getting the victory 2-0, Jody.
Yeah, and certainly, again, Cindy, I feel like the word syncing up come back to haunt the Diamondbacks again. Here they get another great start. Brandon McCarthy, fantastic job.
He was tremendous. A career-high 12 strikeouts today.
And just unfortunately, Chris Owings had 2 hits, but not a lot of offense here. They're out hit 8-6. It was a very tight game, though. Certainly, that was good to see the D-backs play a tight game, but again, not be able to get up over the hump today.
We are going to get over the hump as this broadcast continues. Jonathan Papelbon celebrating the victory. Diamondbacks Live post-game show starts right after this.